And for the last segment of the first edition of the WolfMan Ramble, you're going to see WVU head football coach Neil Brown is going to jump on a Zoom call with former WVU football players. Well, I tell you, he gives a great State of the Union address of where the team is headed. And then you're going to see me ask a question about the transfer portal. Then the great Pat White jumps on and asks a question about how do you recruit with that transfer portal being in place. Very interesting response from Coach Brown. And you're going to know where this team is going and how he's going to handle it. And then you're going to see JT Thomas ask a question about what happens to the players after they graduate. And Coach Brown talks about his fifth quarter program. Now, this segment is brought to you by Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration because Tommy and Josh Contragaro are WVU football alumni. Who else better to support this segment than Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration? And last but not least, when you see former players that never played for you and you're a head coach and they jump on board on your team, on your program, man, you're really cooking with some grease because they know the truth. There's no smoke being up there. They know the truth. Check it out. Roll it. I want to say this to start off. Greetings, Mountaineer brothers. It is wonderful to see you all. Thank you for joining us for our first Zoom with Coach Brown and staff. But now I want to turn this over to Coach Brown. He's going to give you a football overview of the spring and 2021 and what he thinks where we're headed. Again, afterwards, we'll line it up for some questions for him. Neil Brown, WVU's head football coach. Coach, take it away.
No, you're good. Wolfman, I appreciate you. And I appreciate you putting in some work to get this organized. And, man, it's been a really crazy last 13 months. And I think we're working. We're in good place to get this thing back to whatever our new normal is going to look like. Our spring game is on April 24th. We are anticipating of expecting full crowds in the fall. I think we'll be able to get back to where we're going to do some on-field recognition and those type of things. So I'm going to let Wolf I got a couple things I want to talk about, and then Wolf, I'll let you ask some questions first because you got some good things that some good thoughts that you want to ask, and then we'll open it up to questions for everybody. I just want to kind of give kind of a brief state of the union where I think we're at. We're year 2 into this, and we're making progress. And I like this team. I like the group of guys that I have. That I'm fortunate enough on the staff. I think we've got the right pieces, and we're playing a tough league, which all of you know. But we're really close to getting this to a place where y'all are going to be really proud of it. And one thing that I think is really important for us as we kind of move forward, and one thing that we're really stressing is right now in our programs, this kind of we and is greater than me. And it's come to a point where we're really pushing this from a staff perspective. And one of the things that we're really emphasizing with our guys, because I think it matters, because I think if we want to get back to kind of our roots and really it's your old roots, what West Virginia football has been about, is we have to be more team oriented. And part of that is really understanding what the history and the tradition of West Virginia football is. And a lot of the guys on here are responsible for that. And a lot of them that came before you are responsible for that. And I think we've got to get back to our players or really have a better understanding of that or more connected with that and kind of understand all the success we've had here. And so that's kind of what we're moving forward to. We've got we basically returned almost our entire production on offense. We've added an offensive lineman. We may add another one. And our young receivers, I think, are in a spot where they've been playing for 2 years. We've had some struggles there. But I think they've had a tremendous winter, maybe the best winter in our program. I think they're ready to make a positive step. Defensively, we've got a lot of guys. We've had some transfers that will start out, and I'll be more than happy to talk about that. But we still really have a really productive group coming back, and I think anytime you got the ability to have players at all 3 levels, which we do, then we've got that. We're more athletic, so I think we'll be improved on special teams. There's no favors in the schedule now. I mean, the schedule's tough. We play 11 Power 5, opponents. I think we're one of like 6 in the entire country. We're playing 11 Power 5. We got 2 rivalry games in our first 3, going to Maryland and then Virginia Tech coming here. And so we've got our hands full, but I think we've got a roster and a team that's ready for that. And so, Wolf, why don't you kick it off, ask some questions, because you'll have a good feel for anything that the general want to know, the general, alumni want to know, and then after that, I'm free to take some questions. I'm not sure I got some answers, but I'll take them.
Very good, Coach. Well, hey, you know what? Because it looks like most of us are a little bit up there in age, the transfer portal was not around. Can you talk about the transfer portal and what it means to all programs, because it's going on everywhere?
Yeah, this is the way I think about the portal is nobody really wants to know what my opinion of it is, and part of that's because I'm sitting here, I'm making a lot of money as a coach, and the players are the product on the field, and so I'm never going to be a guy that's going to be negative on the portal just because it's a battle we can't win publicly or privately. We're not going to win that. What I think is fair to talk about, it's changed. It's changed college athletics. It's changed it from a coach's perspective. I think it's made it really hard on fans. Man.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate you, Coach, everything you're doing up there in Morgantown. My question is about recruiting current players. Knowing that there's a transfer portal in the back of their mind, how are you recruiting the current players on campus daily?
Yeah, and that's a good question. It's a fair one because you being in this profession, that's part of it right now. And the best thing you can do is to build relationships. And here's where we this is the real issue is when guys are having success now. There's so many people that are connected to successful athletes, especially ones that are in inner city environments, because and what I mean by this, if you're a lot of times rural student athletes, everything is still funneled through the school, and even if it's a program that has a really strong high school tradition, a lot of the stuff, whether it's 7-on-7, everything's kind of funneled through the school. When you don't necessarily have a strong program and you're in an area where travel teams and things like that are real prevalent, there's a lot of different people involved with the student athlete, and everybody's an expert now. And so we do fine as long as we have our guys here. It's when we have downtime and they get back and where they're listening to things that may or may not be accurate, as far as what it looks like. That's where I think we've got to do a better job. Part of that is what we've really tried to do over the last 2 months is just really with parents, is being able to connect with parents. And I think that's the communication piece with parents is huge. Part of retention, because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about retention. You would love to be 100% on retention. I don't know if that is, I don't know if that's possible anymore. Okay, I really don't. I'd love to say it was, but I don't know if it is. But you want to keep as many as you can, especially productive players. And so that's why, like I said, like the ones that we've lost some good kids. When guys leave that aren't playing, or they have real home issues or things like that, like I get it. Like I do, I really do. I transferred as a player, okay? I played at the University of Kentucky. I was an extremely average player at the University of Kentucky. I wanted to be a factor if we won or lost. I was never going to be a factor. I played, but I wasn't going to be a factor. So I transferred down to the University of Massachusetts, which was FCS at the time, and I played my last 2 years. And I had a great experience. And I knew that was the last football I was ever going to play, and it was a rewarding experience for me. So I get those people that are doing that. What hurts is when you invest a lot and you develop these guys, and then they leave through some poor advice. That's hard. I don't know if you're ever going to prevent it totally, But what we've done is we're really relationships, and then the parent piece are really whoever their champion is. Maybe it's a coach, maybe it's trying to have really strong communication with them, and we're still growing in it. Obviously, we're not perfect at it right now, Pat.
Well, Coach, first and foremost, I want to thank you for putting this together. For me, I've been around Morgantown for the last 26 years. I'm a native from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. My son as well. I've been big on the mentoring piece in terms of trying to get guys to connect people outside of football. I've come to find there are times when athletes need space, oxygen outside of the organization. And when they have opportunities to meet and mingle with people who have been involved with the program in the past, they tend to adjust a little bit better. So my question is, do you have a mentoring program? And if not, is that something that you guys would consider?
Yeah, so the background on that, and the way I understand it, Wolf can talk a little bit more, is there was a program here that was really strong, and then there was a couple things that went a little sideways on it. And so now, as part of we started this fifth quarter program. Your son came and talked to our team during the COVID, did a really good job, by the way, too, back during the quarantine time. He talked on Zoom, did a great job. But so we started this fifth quarter program, and we hired a West Virginia two-time grad, law degree, MBA, Paige Diggs. And as we started this program, the mentorship is going to be a big piece of it. And you've probably seen some stuff we're doing on social media. We've been doing a series called Fifth Quarter Fridays, where we've been doing in the fifth quarter program. It's all about life after football, and there's going to be a mentorship piece of that. And if you're interested in doing that, because you are here in town, we'd love for you to be part of it. And what I'll